everyone, little beauty haul or makeup haul for you today. A few different places, Boots, Amazon and Savers. So I'm just going to get straight into it rather than babbling on at the beginning like I normally do. This is I've just said that and now I'm going to add something else to it. I didn't buy this all in one go. It's little bits and bobs that I have picked up over the course of, I'd say, the last 3 to 4 weeks. So most things I have had a little go of as well, so I can give you a little first impressions of what I think of them. So the first 3 products are from Max Factor. Boots were doing a 3 for 2 on Max Factor. So these cost $10.99 individually, but I got one of them free. The first one is this face powder. Well, I picked it up thinking it was a face powder. I needed a setting powder. I've treated my dry skin lately, which means that I'm needing powder, if that makes sense. So historically my skin was too dry, powder would just make it cakey and separate and it would look awful. But lately, where my skin is less dry because I feel I'm treating it well, skincare routine went up last video actually, if you want to check it out. So lately I'm needing powder just to make sure I set my makeup and it lasts throughout the day. I'm not starting to look too shiny. So I thought this just was your standard powder. It turns out it's a powder foundation, which would explain why the coverage is so good. But I really enjoy using it. It comes in a little compact like this, so you do get a mirror, you get a decent sized pan of powder, and you get a little sponge, which, as you can see, is a bit gross. But I'm actually quite liking that as a sponge because I'm finding that I've got quite good control over where it's placed rather than having to put it all over my face. And you've got quite good control over the amount of coverage you use as well. But yeah, I'm using this on top of a light foundation for day-to-day wear, just putting it where I need and building up in places where I need it. And I'm finding it makes my makeup last really, really well. As I say, I'm loving the coverage, but I've since realised it's actually a powder foundation, so you could probably use it on your own if you're not one for, could use it on your own if you're not one for liquid foundations. And it's got an SPF 20 in it as well, no, 15. So the more SPFs the better for me in terms of day-to-day makeup. So yeah, I'm actually really enjoying that, and I think it's well worth the money for $10.99 because it is a little bit more than your standard drugstore stuff. Conversely, I'm not such a fan of this. This is the Facefinity All Day Primer. This has got SPF 20 in it as well, and it claims to extend the wear of foundation, as primers do. This is one of those more silicone-y primers that sits on top of your skin rather than absorbs, and just personal preference for me, I like to have one that absorbs. That's just my personal preference when it comes to primers. I kind of did this as a panic buy. I picked up the powder and the other Max Factor product and I was like, 3 for 2, I need to buy something. I'll grab this, but what I should have done is tried out the tester on the back of my hand first. So I have worn it a couple of times, and I've worn it with a couple of different foundations, and I just find that my foundation is more prone to separating when I'm wearing this underneath it. So I probably am going to have to pass that on to someone else because it's going to be good for someone, it's just not suitable for me. And the third thing I bought from Max Factor is this Full Slash Effect mascara. I bought it in the waterproof formula because I specifically wanted it to wear to a friend's wedding, so I wanted a waterproof mascara. I'm actually quite loving this so far. The brush is different for me. It's got really fat barrel, if that's what you want to call it, and very, very small bristles. They're plasticky bristles, but they're very, very soft and flexible. They're not the sort of hard, spiky ones. It needs layering for sure, but you do get that really long, dramatic eyelash look with it. So yeah, I'm quite liking that. I wouldn't say it's my all-time love. I kind of feel like I'm not too fussy with mascaras. I've got a lot of mascaras that I will repurchase and I will use again, but I've got a few sort of up there in the top creme de la creme, and this isn't one of them, but I am really, really enjoying it. If you like waterproof mascaras, then it's probably worth a go because as far as the waterproof claims go, it's brilliant. So this is one of the things I haven't used as yet, and this was a total spontaneous purchase. I went into Savers for something else and I saw that they were having a everything £5 and under offer on their Rimmel stand. So I scoured it and thought, what is in here that I haven't tried before that I can get for less than a £5 or £5 or under? And I saw this Fresher Skin SPF 15 foundation. It's their new foundation. So not only did the price grab me, this was £5 and I think it's meant to be normally $7 or $8.99. But the bottle, I just thought this was different. I haven't really seen a liquid foundation in this kind of packaging before. I bought it in the shade 100 Ivory, which is the same shade that I am in the Wake Me Up foundation, so I'm assuming the 2 shades will be the same. And I haven't opened it yet, and I'm not going to because I want to do a first impressions video on that, so look out for that. But it's meant to be a very, very lightweight, more breathable, natural foundation, so I thought it might be something good for every day. I completely ran out of liquid concealer, so I kind of just bought this at the time of the month where I didn't really have much spare cash and I needed a cheap concealer. I've tried the collection, the much raved about collection one, and I find it a bit too thick and cakey for me. So I bought this as an alternative. This is the 17 Stay Time, up to 18 hours apparently concealer, and I bought it in the colour Fair. Something I did like about this actually is that there are good options for very, very pale people, because I automatically picked up the fairest shade, which isn't this, and it was too light. So it was quite nice to know that if people struggle with very, very sort of porcelain skin, then this might be a concealer worth checking out in terms of the shade. Anyway, it's definitely not as full coverage as the collection one, but therefore I'm finding it a little bit lighter and a little bit easier to blend. Definitely not 18 hours. I would need to, if I had like a big full-on glowing spot, I would need to take this with me and top up during the day. But for an everyday concealer, I'm quite enjoying it. It's only £4.49. This one is a repurchase. If you're familiar with my videos, you would have heard me talk about it loads. It's the W7 Brow Bar. It's got 4 shades in it, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Number 1 I use as an under brow highlight. Number 2, to be honest, I never use. 3 and 4 you can see I've already started to use. I blend them together depending on the drama I want in my eyebrows. I blend them together either using more of the black or more of the brown. I find it hard to get the right colour for me. I find a lot of brow products far too warm, and I find a lot of powders difficult to blend. So for me this one just works really well. There's probably, you know, it's not holy grail, I wouldn't say. There's probably better brow powders out there, but for £3.99, I mean, this lasts me a long time. The reason I bought a new one is because I've sort of hit pan and getting around to the edges on the other one that I've got, and I know it's just going to start to fall apart anytime now, so I want to have one to hand so that I don't have to rush out and buy it. But yeah, that must have lasted me over a year, the first one, so for the price you're getting really good value for money. And finally, this is a purchase that was inspired by my sister-in-law, Rachel. She's got her own YouTube channel, so I'll make sure to link it down below. But she was wearing this in either an Instagram post or a Snapchat or something, I can't remember, and I said, I need to know what that shade is, please, because it is lovely. It was Snapchat actually, because she replied to me, I screenshotted it, went into Boots, and I bought it. And it is the long-lasting lip pencil from Rimmel. It's called the 1000 Kisses Stay On Contouring Lip Pencil, and this is the shade Tiramisu. I love the fact that it is so good for contouring your lips. It's not a shade I would normally have gone for, but seeing it on Rachel, I really, really loved it. It's quite dark, but therefore really, really good for contouring. So paired with a lighter lipstick or a lighter lip pencil, it can look really, really good. Or on its own, it's really a really good shade for that sort of 90s look. It's quite warm in tone as well, so I don't find that it washes me out too much. And these for £2.99, yeah, £2.99 they are. These are brilliant, brilliant formulas. Really, really soft, really, really creamy. None of that dragging on your lips. Yeah, dragon, that sounded like I meant dragging. But yeah, I'll get more of these actually, different shades, especially for the price. So yeah, really impressed with that one. So that's the end of the haul. Any questions? Down below as always, please. Don't forget to give it a like, thumbs up, that's the same thing, and subscribe if you want to see videos twice a week, and I'll see you next time. Bye!